Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Call-In Show here at Ohio State, the voice of college football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy, as always on a Thursday at 7 p.m. usually, but we had a little bit of a late start. I had to go handle some personal business today. I had to go bartend, actually, and I had a private event. But nonetheless, I am still here tonight. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Of course, a lot of news happening over the week that we're all very much aware of. My God. First off, let me say this. Ryan Day, thank you. Thank you for being our head coach. Thank you for making sure we stay out of trouble, that you stay out of trouble. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Good to see you here, man. Happy Thursday. What's up, everyone? And we're still waiting for people getting here, but man, what a week. What a week. Of course, we all know the news that broke. The news that broke over at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, the Wolverines and their head coach Jerome Moore. Of course, right now our Buckeyes, while all that crap is going on, our Buckeyes right now are getting set and ready to get ready for a playoff run. I got you. I got you, Rob. Jam, what's going on? See you in there, my friend. Yeah. So. Yeah, there's the call-in link. I put it in there. Of course, this is the call-in show for anybody, whether you be a Buckeye, whether you be a Wolverine, whether it be anything else you want to be. You are, of course, come up, talk. But I'll first give some of my thoughts real quick. And Rob, I'm gonna bring you up here. I love having you join me, regardless. Anyways,
What's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm gonna start with this. So, I'm not gonna say who told me, but I had a friend tell me this was coming down the pipeline about a few weeks ago, and it was funny because when it originally came out, I was getting text messages from my my friend Bryce from Scarlet and Blue Show. He texted me,
Yeah.
and then I actually talked to my dad about it. And when I told my dad about it Saturday before the Big Ten championship. And my dad's just looking at me like I'm a dumbass. And he's like, Garrison, that's crazy. I say, yeah, but sometimes the craziest things are true. And it drops, man. And at first all I want to say, man, look, I feel bad for the family, specifically his wife and his three daughters. But my God, it's wild when you think about what's gone on in that program over the last 6 years, and take away the cheating scandal, the sign gate, take that away, take away the recruiting during the COVID period, not when you're not supposed to. You got a pedo, you got guys getting DUIs, and I'm not gonna say anything about that. Brian Hartline has one too on an ATV, and he's still got a head job.
Indictments by the FBI.
Yeah, the feds came a knocking. And now you got this guy. You got Sharon and everything that comes with that and everything. And I was talking to my best friend about it, Rob. And I want to hear what you got to talk, what you want to talk about. But I was talking to my best friend about it. A few guys were like, bro, hey, listen, no one's condoning his actions. So let's start with that. No one's condoning the original actions that he did as a married man. Okay. But but this is a fact right here. A lot of coaches have done that. And you know what they do? They go on X, they give some BS apology, they sit their ass down, and maybe a couple years later, like Ed O, because right now everybody wants Ed O. I would love Ed O to be at Ohio State, be a D-Log, a recruit for it. Lane Kiffin has a job. Sarkisian had alcohol problems. You just gotta sit down for a while, my guy. You don't crash out. And I kind of really don't want to talk about that stuff, but I think now you're in a situation where you fire your head coach. You have to fire your head coach, and it comes out where Jerome Moore had a meeting with the regents, and it looks as though he's going to keep his job. And I'm happy that there are Wolverine fans that agree with me on this. What this shows me is that the institution, because they still have no president. The institution has no balls. And it's almost understandable because if you get rid of your AD, and I talked to TJ about this, and he kind of mentioned this actually on his show early today. I told him, bro, you can't hire a coach without an AD. Because you got it. You need an AD first before you hire a coach. Now you're in a position where you're gonna hire a coach more than likely before you get a new AD. You're probably gonna keep Ward Manuel, who for some odd reason still has a job. And I went to bat for Ward on some things, but now you just can't. You went and I mean, bro, listen, I got a new job now. I'm gonna be in sales, but I was an HR professional for 8 years. You can't fire anybody without HR being there. So now you have that problem. It's a lot happening, and of course we all know they're on the looking for a new coach. The big names right now are Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer is someone who I respect as a head coach, but I've also, before he went to Bama, I said, hey, I don't know how good he is. And then you have, of course, Dilly over at Coach Dillingham over in Arizona State, who I'm a fan of. But yeah, man, crazy stuff. But what's going on, Rob? What's on your mind? Everybody, if you don't know already, you can find Rob and Pete over at Buckeye Battle Cry. Battle Cry, that's 2 words on YouTube. But yeah, what's going on, man?
We are 35 subs away from 500 subs to that monetization point. So check us out, man.
Hey guys, go check them out, subscribe to them.
But I'm gonna quote one of the worst presidential candidates in history, and I'm gonna add Michigan to it. So the way that Michigan fans are acting, I guess you can say that they've been unburdened by what has been. I mean, like the way they're acting, they are downplaying this. This is a lot bigger than people think, man. I mean, we're talking about scandal after scandal after scandal. First it was the pedo, and then it was Connor Stallions, and then it was Matt Weiss, the FBI. And then the final punishment comes down. You have all these show causes. Jim Harbaugh can't even come back to college football. Connor Stallions has 8 years, and pretty much everybody under Harbaugh's staff is just scandal ridden, show cause ridden, or just fired. There's the DUIs with Scruggs from Wisconsin, and now, and here's how I found about this, Garrison. I was on X just scrolling, and I screenshot. I'm like, dude, there's no way that this is true. And it talked about how Sherrone Moore was apparently he had a side piece, and then all of a sudden I go back, it's gone. And then the dude who deleted it, he posted it on X that, hey, due to legal action, I had to delete this, but not saying it's not true. I'm like, dang, like, and then I go talk to it with, some of my friends and stuff. And here we are, man. Dude had a side piece, married, has 3 kids, just a terrible,
3 daughters.
Yeah, three daughters. Terrible situation. And then it got crazier because he went to the staffer's house with a knife, and he threatened to end it all.
Allegedly. Let's stick with allegedly.
All right,
we gotta say that for right now, but yeah.
Allegedly, even though TMZ released the audio, and apparently allegedly he was stalking this woman for about a month, man, or even longer. So it's just kind of like, no wonder why his head just wasn't in the game. His head was somewhere else. But I hope Sherrone Moore gets the help that looks like Sherrone will be coaching another. Yeah, he'll be coaching the Meme Machine.
What's that movie called? The Gridiron Gang?
No. The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard. Yeah, we had Longest Yard.
He'll be coaching Meme Machine. But, and you know what? Here's another thing, man. I don't want to hear about, we're Michigan. We decide to take the moral high ground. We are a program institution of integrity. If they beat Ohio State, this gets swept underneath the rug, dude, because I don't know if you
more than likely. It depends because the dad got involved. And
what prompted the dad to get involved though? I'm interested to
like, is that a bunch of regents? I mean, seemingly the regents were waiting for him to. I mean, because Rich Eisen said that 90 minutes in that game, he after the game, he knew. It took 90 minutes for him to find out. So
yeah, I mean, like that just to me that suspect to me is just like, okay, you missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. You're sitting there like, oh my gosh, we should have actually did a national coaching surge. Because if you look at how Sharon Moore got the job, dude, it wasn't because he was a good coach. It was because he took over for Jim Harbaugh, a championship roster, and he took Jim Harbaugh's game plan. Jim Harbaugh was allowed to be at the practices during those 3 games. It's not like the new rules installed where, Sharon Moore couldn't even be at practice. So, it's just like, congrats, you won the audition, but they found out the hard way that Sharon Moore's not a good coach. They didn't like the results. Right. So, they pulled this October surprise and like, I mean, let's be honest, Garrison, he got the Joe Biden treatment. He did. They ran him out of town, dude. He got the Joe Biden treatment. I told everybody that, dude. I said it on Twitter.
It's a lot, man. Like I'll tell you what, like, and I could imagine, like, we're Buckeye fans, right? And yeah. I'm someone who I get it. I know what my program is. We fire our greatest coaches. That's just what it is. Like, we gotta go. Yeah, like Woody punches guys. Yeah, Jimmy likes to Jimmy lies, and Urban Meyer's Urban Meyer. We'll keep it at that. But like, thankfully we have a moral coach now. But it's not saying that those guys weren't, but. Hey, Dan, that's crazy. Like Tupac, but no, listen, it's wild. And it's days like this, Rob, where you want to quote the great words of Jim Tressel. Thank God I got a chance to beat Ohio State Buckeye because there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's nothing like being Ohio State Buckeye.
Man, my goodness.
Times like this makes you really thankful that Ryan Day is the head coach and that they didn't fire him, man. I mean, let's be honest, they weren't going to fire him. It was just that lunatic fringe fan base that, they need the squad cars, the security to guard his kids and everything. But, like, it just makes you even more thankful for Ryan Day because there have been 0 investigations, 0 staff arrests. And just, I mean, there have been like little self-reports to the NCAA, but those are like Mickey Mouse violations, dude. I'm talking like little itty bitty, recruiting things or, but I mean, there's at least one that's been reported like a year that's just like extremely small compared to like what's going on in Ann Arbor, dude. But you know what, man? What does it even mean to be a Michigan man?
So I'll tell you this. So I actually had a real conversation with my buddy Bryce Sack. If you guys don't know, Bryce and I, while we started the Scarlet and Blue show, and I actually felt for his dad because he talked to his dad, who's a Michigan alum, and his dad was crushed. And I've actually wanted to have a conversation with his dad about what's going on with the University of Michigan over the past few years. And I told Bryce, I said, dude, that whole Michigan man moniker is dead. And I said, I feel bad for guys like his dad because there are men that actually lived by that, lived it out, good moral men. I grew up with Bryce, and his dad's like a second dad to me, or a third dad, but like, next door neighbors couldn't ask for anything from him. I could ask for anything. But when you look at what your program has become, it's actually not even the program, but the institution in the athletic department, you see what has become of it. And you see just because the truth of the matter is this is all this all comes from Jim Harbaugh. These are all his hires. These are all his guys. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh is the one who gave the keys to him. And and the truth be told, Michigan shouldn't have let him. It's a guy what seems like he has a crushed ego. But yeah, man, that whole and it's funny because they've always been about, hiring a Michigan man. No, dude, it ain't the 1950s, the 1990s. We're in a different time now. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, I agree with you and shout out to my guy Sam from College Ball with Sam. He had tweeted something about kind of like Ohio State fans just going at Sharon and Michigan fans. And I told him, I said, bro, you got to understand this. Ohio State fans for a very long time have had to deal with Michigan fans or Michigan people, Michigan alum, etc., having this holier than thou thought of themselves.
Exactly.
And basically looking down upon Ohio State, not just in almost all of college football. Not to mention, for the last few years, you guys have had all the Mel Tucker jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, your head coach followed over 300 OnlyFans models. And he's married.
I think he has an addiction, dude. That sounds like a what addiction.
It sounds like a corn addiction. But but no, man. I mean, hey,
is it true that he was texting and he was messaging the OnlyFans model during halftime
of the game?
Of the game, bro. What?
Hey, Blanco Show, keep that shit 300. I keep that shit 300. No, but that's crazy, bro. It's and the thing is I was listening to Sam Webb's show earlier, and Sam Webb looks like one of the biggest doofs of everybody, because he talked out of his neck saying that none of this was true. And then Brian on his own on that same show, Brian was like, dude, he says it's pissing people off, bro. Do you listen to the 97.1 The Ticket?
At times I do.
So so John Jansen was on there this morning. He's pissed off, and he talked about how Sharon Moore had him come talk to the team, right, about being a Michigan man and having honor and things of that nature. And he was like, bro, it feels like you had me come up there and talk because you couldn't have that conversation. And so he says that you almost feel used.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I think that, and I'll say this because you're a Michigan alum. I think it's very clear because, shout out to my guys TJ, shout out to my guy Johnny, shout out to my guy Juju, and everyone else. There is a clear difference of what's important at the university between this a simple fan and people who actually have some let's say alumni, people who actually donate, people who has spent money in that program, in that university. There's a clear difference of what's important.
I don't donate.
No, that good man. Do you still hold on to that degree? Go burn it.
I worked too hard for that degree, Garrison.
No, that's a good. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. That's a great degree to have, my friend. But yeah, man, it's a wild story, man. And my goodness, hey, look, man, I pray it's all evolved. And look, at the end of the day, I will once I get serious, I can make the jokes. But what I will say is that guy needs help. He needs help because you don't just act like that out of nowhere.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say just for his family, for that young lady. I mean, you were involved in it, but I can't imagine someone holding a knife to you allegedly is scary as hell. So, especially for a young woman like that. So, but yeah, what do you say? Now, what are you gonna say?
Oh man, I forgot, man. I forgot, dude. But man, like this is sad, like all on all parts. Like you got to think about like the wife and stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
kids, and just I mean, those kids grow up, they're gonna look up their dad, and they're gonna see all this. I guarantee you, they're just not telling them anything about this. But man, this is just I don't know. I and also like I don't know why like people are acting like the university and stuff act like they're blindsided because if you listen to Josh Pate a little clip, he was talking about how he was talking about how members from the media knew about this and they were just waiting and waiting for there to be a head coach opening at the University of Michigan. They were expecting it. And, then comes after National Signing Day and it happens. And then, we have all these, like Sam Webbs and Isaiah Holes and Chris Ballas just all shocked and surprised and everything else. So it's just,
Yeah.
I'm not buying
Isaiah
it,
Hole's
man.
not my moral compass. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he didn't report the story on Alex Ude.
Yeah, even though he knew about it.
Yeah, even because apparently he said the university didn't want to report on it, which that tells you everything, man.
For sure. But before we continue, everybody, quick message here from Mark in the College Voice of College Football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Brada, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
I remember what I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you were talking about Schromore's mental state and just how all of a sudden this happened. Well, dude, the one thing you got to look at is what I always think of. I go back to that interview he did after the Penn State game when he filled in and he was just bawling his eyes out and stuff. I'm like, man, you expect those kind of tears if this were like, let's say he was filling in the entire playoffs, won the national championship. I'd be like, that would be like reasonable, but dude, you beat Penn State. Like that was expected. He's bawling his eyes out. I love you, Sharon, and yada, yada, yada. And just like, I don't know, man. To me, that was way over the top. And like, you just had to look at the pattern of his behavior as well. Like, let's be honest, man. This woman wasn't the first. I mean, he's been at Michigan, since 2018, 2019?
Yeah. And you know what's funny about you saying that is that I brought that up, and I'm going to get to some Ohio State stuff here soon, but I brought that up to some guys, and I said, bro, when I saw that, that's fine. And even Devin Gardner said, bro, that wasn't a good look. But, just in case, if anybody has never seen this, and just in case you need some a refresh to remember what this looked like, everybody, here it is for you right here.
To win on the road in this environment when there were doubts. Sharon, what does it mean to you?
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. for this university, the president, our AD. We got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. Talk to him, man. Love you.
Thank you.
God. Oh boy. Yeah, like I was telling guys, I said, look, man, I have no problem with men crying, but you don't do that on national television. You don't do that. You don't do that on national television. But yeah, let's talk some playoff football here. Let's talk some Buckeye football here, of course. I think the news is coming out now that Tegra has lost his job.
Oh,
Yes. I'm happy about this. And there was a while where I kind of stopped talking about Tegra because he's still a Buckeye, and I want to be supportive of every Buckeye player there is, but not at the expense of my quarterback, not at the expense of his health. So I assume that Gabe Van Sickle, shout out to Gabe Van Sickle, Coopersville, Michigan, West Michigan boy. What are your thoughts on him starting possibly? And yeah.
I mean, if you look at the entirety of Shabola's just season, and the one thing I think of is that Purdue game when I think it was Peoples or Bo Jackson out in the flats about to catch a screen pass, and all Tager had to do was pull and get to his block, and he whiffed, and all you see is Bowen and Day on the sidelines just livid, man. And then, dude, you look at that film, the Big Ten championship game, and he is solely responsible for a good amount of those sacks. And every time Van Sickle was in there, they had successful drives. I'm pretty sure when Van Sickle was in there, those were the drives where they're able to get in the red zone, no problem. And Sane was able to be on his A game because they were actually able to give him time. They were able to run the right side of the line. And so, I mean, if you were to keep Shabola in there, that is coaching malpractice like I would have never seen before. If he was out there on New Year's Eve as a starter, I would be like, we're not serious about winning the national championship, especially, dude. Like they gave up 3 or 4 sacks for the season, and in the Big Ten championship game, they gave up 5-6 sacks, and like I think 3 or 4 of those were coming from Tager's side. Yeah. And just like all season, man, you couldn't run the right side of the line with him in there. He's just not good. He was a 5-star out of high school, but dude, isn't he like a 5th year senior, or he's just a true senior?
Junior, I think.
Okay, but still, like he had all that time to develop. The development's not there. He's just not cutting it, man. It's time to cut the cord. I get that, it's more likely hard on them because it's the playoffs, but it's time to cut the cord, man. And they did it at the right time.
For sure. And my biggest thing is like, year to year, I give every player the benefit of the doubt in terms of progressing in their skill and what they do as a football player. But man, you haven't progressed at all. You look the same. Nothing's changed. And it's wild because you would think that, bro, you had 2 of the best O-line coaches since you've been, like, you had Fry for the last few years. You got Tyler Bowen's one of the best O-line coaches in the country, and you can't progress. So at this point, man, it's you. It's just you. Maybe you just don't have the skill. I don't want to keep calling him big for nothing, but
man, to me, he's just big and slow to be able to make those pulls, man, out in the flats, dude. He just didn't cut it, man. I mean, I went back and watched the film, and it was just ugly, dude. Every time, man, he just wasn't doing his job, dude.
For sure.
It's atrocity.
Well, I'm gonna bring up Seth and Marie and my boy Montana. How you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Fine.
Montana, my G.
Okay.
Oh, I think there he is.
I'm good, Seth. Brother. How you, brother?
Good, man. I'm good. Seth, what you saying, Seth?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say 4 words, the Ohio State University.
My
We
man.
are zone favorites to repeat as natty champion. Remember 13-10 last year and how we ran the table? We're
Yep.
gonna do it again this year. You know, we got the 2 best wide receivers in college football. And we use them and utilize them. We got the best defense. I think they let teams average like 11 points a game, something like that. You know, something crazy like that. And so we're gonna be all right. I'm kind of, in a way, I wanted the undefeated season, but I'm kind of glad we lost because we can regroup and retool what we need to do, look at film and see what we got to do to regroup like they did last year. They knew what the problem was and they corrected it during the playoffs and they made a good playoff run. And I think they're going to do it again this year. But I'll be, I kind of be, I'll just say this, the Coach Moore situation. I don't know if y'all talked about that yet. Even though this ain't got nothing to do with Ohio State football, he was a thorn in our side. Yeah, he was a thorn in our side for 4 years. And last year, it shocked the nation that they won against Ohio State. And, I kind of feel sad for the guy to a certain extent but he played in the snow and got frostbitten, like Mel Tucker did a couple of years ago. I hate to say it, but it just happened, and it's all on him. I don't condone what he did. What he did was wrong, but, he knew better. Ain't nobody, and I'm going to tell somebody else, and I'm going to land with this. If they had to beat Ohio State, this would have been swept under the rug. I don't care what nobody said. If they had to beat Ohio State this year, yeah, it would have been swept under the rug. So I'll let my bad talk, so yeah, I'll just land with that.
I agree with you. What's up, Montana? Hey, Montana, you there?
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. There we go. I muted up my mic on my end, but yeah, man, I agree with Seth over there, man. In the chat, I said, hey, Garrison, those weren't real tears, him crying over, Penn State.
Yeah.
I saw those real tears coming out, dropping down his face after that Ohio State loss because he knew it was going to catch up, and he lost everything. I've been married almost 15 years. I couldn't see myself doing that. I got a daughter myself.
Mhm.
So I couldn't see myself doing that, showing my daughter, hey, there's terrible men out here when there's really not that many terrible guys. There's a lot of good guys out here, you know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I just felt like that situation was going to get out of hand sooner or later because, you lost to Ohio State, bro. You know what I mean? You got lucky last year. Coaches did some goofy stuff. We all know. But like I say in every chat, I'm not scared of no team. Ryan Day did piss me off last year, but he shut me up. You know what I mean? He showed me that he can coach in crunch time. So as long as Ryan Day there, man, I just see can't nobody beat Ohio State but Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? We seen it in the Big Ten game. There was plenty of opportunities for Ohio State to drop at least 30 plus. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't take those chances. So, they beat themselves with penalties, and a lot of those penalties was fake, but with penalties and all this, that, and the third, like Seth said, man, they're going to go on this run. Like I told you and OG Mike last year, this defense is going to be the reason why we win back-to-back natties. It's not going to be the offense, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. Buckeye fans, it will not be the offense. The defense is going to give the offense the necessary stops for the offense to keep having the ball, and then we're going to see this miraculous run again, But other than that, man, how y'all doing?
Good, man. And to what you just said, it's funny because I was in a space when the rankings dropped, and guys are talking about us playing Texas A&M. I'll talk about Texas A&M specifically, and in Miami. And I asked him, I said, bro, how many points do you think people can actually score on Ohio State? Take Indiana for instance. Indiana is not a bad offense. That's one of the best offenses in the country.
Mm-hmm.
They got to the red zone, but I don't know. I'm really confident, like you said, Montana. I heard just like you said. This defense will not be a reason why we ever lose a football game.
Yep.
It all comes down to what the offense does. And actually, I'm going to ask all you guys, Montana, Rob, Seth, because I talked about this earlier in the week on Monday about Brian Hartline. And how do you guys feel? And mind you, I'm not mad at him when I say this, but how do you guys feel about him? I think he's maybe coming back here at the end of the week. But and I'm going to read this quote for you guys. Ryan Day said he'll be down there this week some, and then he'll look to get back and look to sort of dive into the game plan with us. Based on how the month goes, we'll see how that plays into the game week. What do you guys take from that?
I'm gonna say this. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I'm saying? This, this college is too dangerous. These teams are too dangerous. You got, A&M, Miami, and then Georgia, but even before you get to Indiana if you went out. So you can't have 1 foot out and 1 foot in. And I think the transfer portal opens up January to say, you know what I'm saying? So that's in the middle. And I like Coach Hartline. I mean, he brought the best wide receivers, that you can think of to Ohio State and kept doing and still doing it with that Chris Henry signing. So I have a lot of respect for him, but you just can't be lukewarm going into the college football playoffs. So maybe Ryan Day just need to do it full time. Call the plays. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
That sounds like a quote of someone who is 50-50. I feel like it's too much of a distraction. You can't be one place then another. I mean, we're talking about the opportunity for Ohio State to go back-to-back, the first Big Ten team to go back-to-back since Michigan State in the 60s. I mean, this would be a big deal. I mean, this would solidify Ryan Day. I mean, Ryan Day is a great coach, but this would just take him to the next level. And we can't have these distractions. I mean, the play calling in the Big Ten championship, especially in the red zone, was horrendous. And in the first place, it didn't get fixed all season. I mean, brought in a full tight end package. And mind you, the first time they were in the red zone, they scored. Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith were both on the field. And then all of a sudden you bring in who is it? Bennett Christian. And Bennett Christian. I don't even think Max Clark in the field.
It was Bennett Christian. It was Bennett Christian. No, McClare wasn't on the field because it was Bennett Christian.
Kazmarek
and Jelani. It was Jelani.
Bro. What are we doing? Like
I think they all thought, bro, they tried to outsmart themselves. That's what that was.
Yeah, I agree. The situation with Brian Hartline, man, me personally, I was kind of like sad to see him go, but then I expected it for years upon years. We've been seeing it since 2014, even under Urban. Every year is going to be a revolving door with coaches at Ohio State because we're constantly competing for national championships, or we're constantly competing to get into the playoffs. No matter if we're 10-2, 11-1, it doesn't matter. We're constantly competing. So I look at it like an NFL scheme now with these 12 playoff games or whatever, or 12 playoff teams. I feel like Ryan Day should call red zone plays in between the 20s, or in between the numbers, or should I say, I feel like Brian Hartline needs to work on that because he's becoming a head coach. Okay, so he needs those reps because I coach Pee Wee League myself. So I coach offensive. I'm an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Next year, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to head coach. So with this being said, I needed those reps on calling plays during times that, my head coach was down. So getting those reps, it kind of helped me see the field more and rely on the assistant coaches. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like Ryan Day should trust Hartline in between the 20s and then try to show him the ropes how it's done called in the red zone, because like Seth said, Rob, such as yourself, Garrison, and plenty others, red zone been an issue all year this year. You know what I'm saying? So we're late in the season, so I feel like nothing is going to change unless Ryan Day take over that position down in the red zone.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Ohio State is top 5 in the red zone, right? But when it really matters, it's not there.
Nope.
That was
before you get started, Robbie Garrison, I do got a question for you too. Big Ten championship. You got a 5'9" corner, 6'3", uber beast, singled up.
Yeah.
Why are you telling Julius saying to look elsewhere and not to the one-on-one?
Anytime Jeremiah didn't have a safety over the top, it should have been known where he should throw the ball. It should have been known.
Agreed.
And I'll tell you what, even if he was on Carnell Tate, Carnell's 6'3", I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I think there are a lot of things in that game that Ohio State just didn't take advantage of, man. Like I don't think they used Bo as well as they could, or as much as they could have. 17 carries, 83 yards, 4.9 per. We could have. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like there was a part of me that felt like we either could have just kept. We either should have spammed Jeremiah or we should have spammed Bo. We should have done one of the two, and we didn't do either of them because for some odd reason we had tight ends on the field.
Yeah. How you feel about that, Rob?
Man, there was a play in the red zone where Jeremiah was on the outside by himself, and they could have done a little fade route to the corner of the end zone, or they could have done a 5 and in, a kind of like a crossing route, because that was going against a 5'9" corner. That was definitely a mismatch. They saw that a couple times where he was one-on-one, but all in all, it also has to do with play calling. I mean, that was the luxury of having Chip Kelly last season. I mean, during the playoffs, he found ways to get his best players involved no matter what. And, I just felt like, that was a big problem in that game. I mean, he did end the game with 144 yards, but, you just have to find ways to, outmatch the defensive scheme that Indiana was running. But I will also say that Tager Shabola allowing those defensive linemen to get in, it really made things confusing for Sane at first, and it caused a lot of problems with the offense.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at Tager for real, because I went back and watched a lot of that film from last year's run. Man, Tager was a nice piece, man. He was a hidden gem down there like a K McDonald. And to see him, man, listen, bro. Hey, y'all, I'm 6'5", 285.
Dude, you go down there then, bro.
Oh, bro, I'm 30. I'm 37, bro. It's over with. But no, dude is like 6'6", 3 something. You're bigger than me, kid. And I hate using these terms for people who still playing the game, but to be called big for nothing, and it's warranted. It's crazy to see that. Like, yo, you're huge, dude. I remember when I was playing, DN, and I'm going against guys that size, hug. I've been hugged, right. They allowed y'all to hold, you know what I'm saying? Because we saw guys getting tackled by 3 dudes at one time.
Like Kenyatta got tackled like 5 times.
That was wild.
So, we seen guys go high and low at the same time. So, use your hands, man, and it's like what Rob said. It felt like Chip Kelly and last year's O-line coach, even though we gave him shit all year. But when we lost 3 dudes, 3 5-stars last year, and Tegra and all those other guys stepped up. Hey man, Chip Kelly and that offensive line coach, man, they was in cohesion. I don't see the same with Brian Hartline and the guy we got now. I just don't see it. I think it's sporadic. It's on point at times. That's when we see Bo Jackson and not Bryce West, but Isaiah West and guys like James People get super holes. They get open real wide, and to see that not on the same page, me personally, I just think Brian Hartline had it in his mind like, yeah, I'm gonna leave. So I just feel like he's just like elsewhere while everybody else is on the same page, and it's kind of throwing it all.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like this. Jeremiah. Jeremiah Smith and Cardell Tate. They got Randy Moss type of ability on the college football level. Just play jump ball with them. They can't. What a 5'9" gonna do to a 6'3" who just got lips like that? So just take advantage of that. The offensive line need to fine tune themselves, and I agree with y'all with that. You go ahead.
I'm just thinking.
It was surprising, bro, because if you look at last year when we played Oregon's defensive backs averaged 5'10" last year. We did nothing but in the playoffs, but just throw it over the top of them. And
it was easy picking.
It was
easy picking.
but also Garrison too. Too is we warmed up Will Howard with giving him short throws and jet sweeps and stuff. Like we didn't even attempt to try that with Julian because he's so accurate. It's like they just relied on his arm talent. Like, go ahead, bro. We know you're gonna throw 80%. Even though he threw that, I still don't blame him for that interception, bro. I just felt like the guy got there a little early.
Yeah, that was.
But shit happens, man. But I just feel like they just relied on him so much to get the job done because they seen it before. We've all seen it. We all seen him complete so many passes or take the check down and be smart with the football. So it's kind of like they just relied on him and not warm him up. I just felt like they should have warmed him up because Bo was eating. Man, BI was open every play, man.
Every play, bro.
BI was open every play, man. And it's just like, hey, I don't know if he wasn't seeing the field, but
no, he wasn't. He wasn't. Like, it was crazy because Julian didn't have a bad game, but his misses were bad. He missed.
Yeah, I agree. The offensive line need to play better. The Air Force about that, and I congratulate Julian Sagan for being a Heisman Trophy finalist, but he could have won it if he had a good game in that Big Ten. I think we all can agree to that. So.
Well, right there, let's not end the show right now, but let's talk about some of these awards real quick. Julian, of course, top 4 in the Heisman votes. Jeremiah Smith, he finished in 6th place. Caleb Downs finished in 8th place. I didn't expect to see that. Wow. Some guys was All-American honors. Caden Curry, he's been listed as a first team All-American this season for I believe it was On3 had him as on theirs for first team. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles have been listed on All-American. I think right now there's still other lists that come out, but it looks like Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, and K-Mac are all going to be more than likely consensus. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on those guys?
Well,
I think like all Big Ten.
My fault, guys.
Oh yeah, now this thing all Big Ten. I think we got 8 on offense. Made first team All Big Ten and like 4, 3 on second team. So they did it. They did the darn thing. And talent is there. Talent is Ohio State got more talent than anybody in college football. So.
Right. I was actually Caden Curry, man. I'll tell you what. I'm so happy for him because over the last few years, Ohio State, only time we've seen him is when he it was like every year he would make some big play on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
But then seeing him to come out this year, and it's not just him. This whole team plays with a lot of swagger, plays with like an edge that you haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean, Katie McDonald. I mean, it sucks that we're only going to see Katie McDonald and Arvell Weiss for 1 year.
I think he's better than Tyler Williams, dude, and that's saying a lot, man.
He is.
He's a lot quicker laterally. He is. He's a lot quicker getting down the line.
He's bigger than him. He's faster than him. It's crazy.
He's a space filler.
I don't know if he's stronger though. They might be around the same.
Maybe not.
Tyleek was a
but I mean, I'm just happy we got him out of. I'm just happy we got him out of Georgia, because like I was just dang it, I can't remember his name. Is the guy on the Film Guy show, but he was talking about how like Georgia didn't even want Katie McDonald.
Wow, because his size or something like that.
Yeah, because he was like 6'1" barely. No one thought he was gonna push up to 6'3". No one thought that.
I mean, he's a kid, bro. Don't stop growing until we 25. So
exactly,
right. I had a late growth spurt. Like I said, I'm 6'5". I didn't become 6'5" until I was like 21, 22 years old. So
wow, yeah.
And I was like 5'11" for most of that, preteen, late teen going into adulthood. I was really like shorter than my class. And now I see my class, now we're all damn near 40. They be like, dang, dude, I remember when I was towering you.
No, it was funny. I was like I was 5'9" in 7th grade. Didn't grow past that. I went wider after that. But I had a guy, shout out to my guy Brandon Norman. He was like 5'4" in middle school and in high school. But I don't know if you guys know anything about Dutch people. He's 6'6" now.
Wow, that's crazy.
I heard about it.
Dutch people, they're very tall. They're very tall people. But
yeah. I can't stop raving on the defense. They have done a tremendous job. And I was just thinking briefly on the CJ Stroud years. And, if they had that same defense, it could have been a couple of national championships.
Oh, my God.
What I'm saying? So, yes. I mean,
speaking of defense, shout out to Jim Knowles.
Yeah.
Dude,
he gonna turn Tennessee up, man. I think he'll turn Tennessee up.
He's a good DC. It's just hilarious how the last since you left Ohio State, how everything is gone, and now you end up at Tennessee, of all places.
Yeah. I don't think that was a bad return investment on his part.
No.
Tennessee is a solid team.
I think it's just hilarious because that's who he beat a few years ago. Or last year, actually. I said,
I agree. I agree on that. I agree. But think about this, Rob and Garrison.
Yeah.
The 3 years Jim Knowles was here, we weren't that good on third down.
No,
dude.
No.
We get a full season, 13 games with Matty P, and we're number 1 in third down. So, that's kind of an upgrade to me personally because I play defense. I want to be off the field after tackling heavy running backs, shifty running backs, chasing down quarterbacks, chasing down receivers and stuff, and tight ends. I want to be off the field on third down, especially third and short. Oh, dude, I don't want to be on the field no longer. I'm tired now, especially going to the fourth quarter. I'm a big dude. My hands on my head.
You a lineman, man. You a water guzzler. Yeah, you trying to get out of there.
Yeah, and plus we're always at the point of contact, so I'm really trying to get off the field. So to see Matt Patricia do what he did against a prolific offense such as Indiana, I just got to tip my hat to him. But with the All-American things, Garrison, bro, I feel like it's a couple snubs that should have been first team.
Let me hear it.
But I'll take a second team. You know, they still all Americans. They did their thing at their tenure at Ohio State, and I respect these guys. I respect these young kids coming in, putting their head down and getting straight to work, man. No complaints, no crying, no fits on the sideline, and they buy into the program, bro. They buy in, bro. It's nothing like being a Buckeye. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like being a Buckeye. Like when I played inner city ball, because I live in Columbus. So when I was playing inner city ball in Columbus, shit, it would have been love like a Maurice Hall. I played against Maurice Hall at Brookhaven when he went to Brookhaven High School. I played against him. You know what I'm saying? To see him do that, it made others in our city want to get up for it. Now, I did get a scholarship to Ohio State, but it was academic. They didn't even rate me a star rating at all. So, you know, to see guys from the city like Jack Sawyer, Sonny Styles, and Malik Harrison and them guys come from the city and go to that school, man, guys is buying in, and they were down on the depth chart, and they waited their time, like a Caden Curry, a Keanu Jackson, Cade McDonald, to see guys like Jermaine Matthews, you know, wait their time and still be like, hey, I want to be a Buckeye no matter what. That right there is what it's about, you know. To see these kids buy into our program out here at Ohio State, bro, from the outside looking in for the past 15 years, bro, it's been nothing but love, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, shoot, guys, before I get out here, you guys want to give your last thoughts real quick before we get out?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm just gonna say the Ohio State University. You know, ready for them to repeat.
My man, Seth, bro. Appreciate you for calling in. I'll
no
see
problem.
you soon.
Y'all take it easy.
Yeah.
You too.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man. Like I said, there's nothing greater than being a Buckeye, especially in 2025. This is the greatest feeling. I prepared myself for this run. Other than that, man, let's try to do it again next year. OH.
All right, Montana. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
You know, I was gonna say this one thing, Garrison. The one thing about this defense is that unfortunately we'll only get to see 1 year of Arvell Reese, man. And it's been one heck of a season to watch him play, dude.
It has been. It really
insane, bro.
Oh man, I hate it. When Mike early in the season, before the season started, when Mike told me he was a junior, I just sat there in shock. I thought he was a sophomore. But
yeah.
All right, Rob, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
All right. You can find my co-host Peter and I on Buckeyes Battle Cry. Battle Cry is one word. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and uploading the latest content on college football. And I will say one more thing before I get out of here, because you know, who is it? Montana was up here talking about, you know, kids from the inner city and stuff. And what I've noticed, because I've looked up recruiting lately, and I think Ryan Day and company has taken a page out of Urban Meyer's playbook. They're starting to get more offensive linemen from Ohio now. AKA,
that's all I care about.
Yeah,
I've always said it, bro. I don't care. Listen, 5 stars are cool. Give me 3-star Ohio kids. That's all.
That's what I'm. They're pretty much just as good, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Montana. Appreciate you about to subscribe to the channel.
All right, Rob, man. Appreciate you as always, man.
Yeah.
Love having you up here with me. Have a good night, man. Tell Pete I said what's up.
Yep. No problem, brother. Later.
Peace. All right, everybody. Well, that's the show for tonight. Again, we appreciate you here at the Voice of College Football. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to be here on Monday at 7 p.m. for the Ohio State Primetime Show, where we cover everything about Ohio State football and everything else abroad that's going on in the landscape of college football. And as always, OHIO.